Hello, everyone. I am Lance Wilkerson, and I am joined by Cheryl Wathen, a Vice President and Chief Financial Officer here at Deaconess. And in this video, we're going to show you how to make a mask. There's been a lot made about personal protective equipment and a shortage right now at Deaconess, at the hospitals and the clinics. We are supplied, but it's hard to tell what's going to happen with COVID-19. And so if nothing else, the community can get involved. And if you like to sew, you can make a mask.
Okay, well, the materials that we're using is actually 100% cotton. And the material is cut into strips of material that are 6 by 9. So you'll notice that they're basically a rectangle. And as you go to make your mask, you're also going to need some elastic. So we're using the 1/4 inch flat elastic. Each piece, you'll need 2, is basically 7 inches in length. The mask itself is, the first part at least, is a pretty basic, construction, if you will.
How long does it take to do one?
It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, when you first start out, it's probably closer to 20 minutes. As you make several, you'll get a lot faster. So we're going to start on the 9-inch side of the material. And I'm going to start about midway through. And the reason for that is whenever I complete this first step, I'm going to have to turn this right side out. And so I need to be able to have space in there to do that. The size of the seam is basically about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. Basically the space that I need to easily work with on the foot of the machine. So we're going to sew down almost to the very end of this first piece. And we're going to stop as we get closer to the end. And we're going to take our elastic and we're going to basically put that in between the 2 pieces of material. And you'll see later why we're going to do it that way. I'm going to put it to where it's basically angled there. So we're going to sew down here towards the very end. We're going to turn. I'm going to make certain that my elastic is out of the way because I don't want to catch it in there. And as I get closer to the end, I'm going to stop again. And I'm basically going to pull the elastic back into the seam, the other end of the elastic, and I'm going to sew it exactly the way I sewed the one on the other end. I'm going to stop, I'm going to turn, and now this particular seam is just going to be a nice long seam, so this one's pretty easy. As I get closer to the end, I'm going to stop. I'm going to take my other piece of elastic. Remember, I said we needed 2. And again, I'm going to repeat and do exactly what I did before. So I'm going to slide it in between the material. So again, we're going to turn. We're going to make certain our elastic is out of the way. And then as we get closer to the end, we're going to reach in. And this time we've got a little bit less room to get in there and grab our elastic because we're almost to the point where we've completed our first step. So we're going to grab our elastic and then we're going to get close to finishing this off for at least this part. Turn. Now remember, this is the side that we started on, but we're not going to actually sew to where we started. We're going to stop about 2 inches away from that because we have to be able to reach in and turn our finished product. That's probably about right.
So then you can turn it inside out.
We can turn it inside out. When we do that, this is what it's going to look like. And you'll notice now what we've got is we've got basically a rectangle piece of material on both sides. And then you'll notice that we've got our elastic on the ends. So this is the part that sometimes I struggle with because, these are kind of hard to get exactly even. I may end up actually taking it apart if I don't like the way it looks and redoing it. But we're going to start out this way. And we're going to actually do 3 different tucks. We feel like that gives us the most protection. And whenever you do the tucks, you need to do them all in the same direction. And likewise, when you go to the other side and you do the tucks, you also want to do them in the same direction that you started over here. So basically now our mask is We've got everything tucked in, so we're ready to do the finishing touches. So I'm going to go back to my machine and we're going to finish this off. So I'm going to start kind of in the middle here. And I'm going to have to watch as I get up here because I don't want to hit a pin. Yesterday, in addition to going through different levels of material, I think I also hit a pin. So we're going to have to pull our pins out as we get closer. Again, we're going to go right to the very close to the end, but not quite, about 1/4 of an inch away. We're going to turn and go down this next side. Slow down a little bit as I get closer here. It'll be a little bit easier on my machine. Pull this last pin out. And now we're on the very last part.
Home stretch.
But not quite, because one of the things that I want to do is I want to reinforce the stitching. So now we're right back to where we started. But to make certain that it is stronger, I'm going to go ahead and go around it one more time. And I'm going to try to hit the same stitches I did before. I probably won't exactly hit those, so that probably won't be quite as maybe as pretty as it should be. You'll notice we've already stitched over this part once, so it's a little bit easier for the machine the second time around. Okay, we are now at the very end.
I'm excited to see the finished product.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see it. So this is our finished product.
Looks great. I love it.
What do you think?
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah. This is actually the adult size. There is also a child's pattern as well. It's just a little bit smaller, but basically it's made the exact same way.
And we'll get all of that information on how to do that. And the way you have to do is send us an email at connect@deaconess.com, and then we'll reply and show you how to make one and then how to get it to us. Ideally, it'd be great if a lot of these came in, because there's a lot of places like the Rescue Mission and homeless shelters that could use a mask for sure. And if they're going to send in a mask, do they need to wash it first?
No, they do not. Actually, we will run those through our washers here.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Really
Thank
appreciate it. Again, the email address is connect@deaconess.com. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.